Welcome to the number 3 podcast. I want to conversate today about something that happened to me. And of course, when stuff happened to me, I have to do a deep dive off into it. And I think I can't stop thinking. So I drink a lot of beer. I am a beer drinker. I love my beer. I only drink with my dinner, with my meal, with my evening meal. That's the only time I drink, period. But I love my beer. If I'm eating a steak, if I'm eating spaghetti, whatever the case may be, I gotta have my beer to wash it down with, period, bar none. Sometime occasionally, if it's something extravagant, I'll have a little shot of brandy or cognac or, a little bit of rum. And I love it, But I was like, I gotta slow down a little bit, I drink no more than 3 beers a day. I will not exceed that. I will not exceed so much cognac, so much rum. I would not exceed a certain point because I don't want to be in a position where I can't function, I can't operate. But I was like, I gotta slow down a little bit. So I ordered this crap off of Instagram, eBay, somewhere where it's supposed to mimic the effects of beer and alcohol, supposed to give you a relaxed feeling. So I was like, I'm gonna give it a try. Absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. I actually made me a concoction last night, and I had a beer, then I had that, and then I had another beer. And like I said, it don't work. It's absolute garbage. It actually made me sick, to be honest with you. But, of course, I have to think. My brain goes in overdrive. And I was like, I've known a lot of people who have had substance abuse, who have suffered from substance abuse, alcohol, drugs, even food, and got me to thinking. Because my heart goes out to those who, one of the individuals, he's a grown man now. I haven't seen him in a long, long time, but when he was in his mother's womb, she did cocaine, she did heroin, she did alcohol, she did all kind of stuff. He was actually born into this world addicted. And he went through foster care, he went from home to home. It took a long time to get this young man weaned off of that effect. It actually affected his brain a little bit. But to my knowledge, as far as, last I heard, he was doing fine. God bless him. These individuals who take on alcohol and drugs later in life or midway through life, those are the ones who, they live in a deep, dark hole. Not saying that this young man, the first 15, 20 years of his life, he wasn't in a hole. Because actually he was. A lot of people helped him out of that, and through the blood of Jesus Christ got him away from that. To my knowledge, I talked to a guy a while back, said that he don't even play when it comes to drugs and alcohol. He don't even go that way. He won't even get a sip of beer or anything when he go to a restaurant, and I don't blame him. But the people who post-teens, 30s, 40s, who get into the alcohol and drugs, these people are in a deep, dark hole. And listen, let's just say I go home this evening, drink a couple beers, have a little cognac, and, friend come over or something, say, hey man, should I watch the game? Shit, and he brings a ball or something, and that right there would take me into that hole. I have reached my limit. A couple of beers, a shot or two of cognac. I can't go any further than that. I can't. With him coming over with this bottle, and I take one shot, I'm going to be over my limit. I'm going to be in another world. I'm going to be in a hole. Meaning I have put myself in a position to get arrested, to get in a fight, to cut somebody, to shoot somebody. And that's just dangerous. Drugs and alcohol, the effects goes further than just tearing up your body and killing your body, which it does. Young lady who passed away over the weekend, she had a little visibility. She was a singer, at 40 years old, passed away. 40 years old, that's a baby to me. But she had an addiction. I can tell you thousands and thousands of actors and singers over the years who have died in their 20s and their 30s from alcohol and drug addiction. You know, and we know the effects of this stuff. And now we got fentanyl or fentanyl in the equation, which is extremely dangerous. But yet people still go out there and, to each his own. You want to smoke your weed, you want to snort your cocaine, you want to drink your bottle of vodka. But we know that this shit is extremely dangerous. And I guess my point to this whole thing, when you crawl off into this hole of alcohol and drugs, when you crawl off into this hole, it's very difficult to get out. If you know anyone who has crawled into this hole, especially midlife, because when you're young, you can actually fight that battle and come out of it. If you don't get any DUIs or any arrests, you can come out of it pretty unscathed. But midlife, and even older, once you get in that hole, it's very difficult to climb out of. So if you know anybody that may be in that hole, or you yourself, man, pray, ask for help. It ain't gonna belittle you to ask for help. It's just not. We all need help. You know what I'm saying? We all need help. Alcohol and drugs. The debate about marijuana, that debate can be had. It has been had. It's probably gonna be had tomorrow. I'm not a weed smoker. My son is. My oldest daughter is. Their whole family on their mother's side are THC users. And to each his own. My thing about marijuana, a lot of people say it's a gateway drug. People who are for it gonna say, "Oh, it's from the earth." This is God's, creation. It's still a drug. No different from cocaine or, any other alcohol. Alcohol. All the ingredients are of other. Is of other. I can't even talk. It's of the earth. It has to be processed, but it's of the earth. But with the marijuana thing, I know a lot of people who smoke, and they just chill. Like my son, he's smoking chill. Plays video games or whatever. He just smoking chill. I know a lot of people who live that lifestyle. They roll them a joint, get them a gummy, whatever with THC, and they're relaxed. I have nothing against that. I don't. Trust me, I don't. Now, for certain people, that is a gateway because they ain't gonna be able to get that high that they first got, so they got to go to something else, cocaine, crack, whatever. They got to get that high. But for your normal person, smoking a joint here and there, ain't nothing for them. God bless them. But once you cross over and you, like I said earlier, you crawl off into that hole, it becomes very difficult to get out. And that's when you need prayer, you need God, period, anyway. But, you need help from others to help you get out of that hole. And I would just challenge everyone, because I know we all know somebody who was addicted to alcohol, addicted to drugs, to help them get out of that hole, help them to live a prosperous life, for the rest of their life. There's nothing wrong with smoking your little weed, drink a couple of beers like I do. I don't smoke weed, but I do drink a couple of beers. But there's a limit. You have to put a limit for yourself. You have to set a limit. You can't go over that limit, and it is what it is. I hope I enlighten someone, help someone with this. It is a problem, and this is my main point of this, because There are millions of alternatives. Just like I ordered that crap out off of eBay, there's many alternatives, but I promise you, 99% of them are garbage. Just like that crap I ordered, it's garbage. I'm like, hell, I wasted $25, man. But what I'm not gonna do is say, instead of having that shot of cognac, let me just drink an extra beer. No, because see, with me and my body, that extra beer, my kidneys will be screwed up. I'll be in the bed 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, about to bust. You know. Now with that shot of cognac, it blends in with my food, gives it a great taste. It's beautiful, but it also puts me in a relaxed state. So, okay, Lamont, chill out the rest of the night, watch you some TV, watch some damn reels on Instagram, and go to bed. You know. But now that shot of cognac, it ain't good for my body. There's nothing beneficial health wise from alcohol. Nothing. I know back in my day, they used to say beer was cornflakes in a can. And I don't see any negative when it comes to beer. Yeah, it contains alcohol, but when it comes to cognac and vodka and rum and bourbon, I do see dangers in that. That's nothing beneficial. Nothing beneficial to the body. Even though you got people claiming, well, if you get bourbon, that's if you get bourbon or cognac that's aged in a barrel, there's a chemical in the wood that soaks out and gets into that cognac or that bourbon, and it's beneficial to your body. No, it's not. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, but there's nothing beneficial to the body with alcohol. It's just not. Anyway, let me quit rambling. I hope this helped somebody. I hope it helped you if you're in need. But we gotta take care of each other. I want to take care of you. I love you and I appreciate you. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, you guys stay blessed, and I'll see you next time.